Second Beach.
Hi, I'm on Second Beach.
Yay! So last night we spent the night in Forks, Washington, and today we're
still in Olympic National Park, but we're in the rainforest.
Uh-oh, check it. Today we have left the rainforest.
And we've arrived at the volcanic mountain of Mount St. Helens. Woo!
Yay! I really hope it doesn't explode.
Yeah. Whew. That was a close call back there.
We barely made it out with our lives.
We did. Now we are in Portland in a ginormous bookstore.
Powell City Books.
Wow.
It's way safer than a volcano.
It's huge.
Amazing. So we have left Portland and we come to the scenic Columbia River Gorge. Mackinac Falls.
So now that we've seen that huge waterfall, we've come to another just as amazing waterfall. We left the more luscious aspects of Oregon and now we're in the deserty portions.
We're here at Smith Rock State Park. Check it out!
Yay! So today we came to Crater Lake, which is so incredibly amazing. And we hiked all the way down to the very bottom where the water is to take a boat tour, which goes all the way around the crater.
It was an amazing boat tour.
So cool.
The hike down is a mile down and you gain 700 feet on the way back up, so it's the equivalent of hiking 65 flights of stairs.
Oh,
I'm exhausted, but check out how beautiful that is. It was totally worth
so
it.
awesome. Today we're in California visiting the amazing and huge redwood trees.
We're here at the super foggy trail of Lady Bird Johnson Grove, and it's amazing.
Today we came to visit the Winchester House, which is a crazy huge mansion that has 160 rooms,
47 fireplaces,
6 kitchens,
13 bathrooms,
3 elevators,
and 1 shower.
She was crazy.
She has staircases that go nowhere, doors that drop off. It's
just
wild.
crazy. Today we're on Alcatraz having a wonderful time.
Wish you were here. It's really scary in here. Hope nobody locks us in.
Here we are at the Golden Gate Bridge. We almost got lost getting here, and then we finally took some public transit that we almost didn't have enough money to get here.
It's weird. Apparently bus fare goes up in 4 years.
But we're here, and it's awesome.
So the first day of our trip, we went to Seattle.
Woo!
And
Things that we really liked were the Space Needle.
That was
but
kinda
there
neat to
wasn't
look
a
at.
lot to do there. I mean, just
No.
look at it. We weren't going to pay the $20 to go up to the observation deck.
a city's a city.
Yeah. So we did the Space Needle. We really liked...
Experience Music Project.
Oh yeah,
We
it was
highly
like
enjoyed
a
that.
music museum.
Music and sci-fi. They had a whole like Avatar exhibit, which was so awesome.
The best part about that entire museum was the Avatar exhibit, which
It's
we
true.
highly enjoyed.
Yes. They had like a thing on Nirvana, which was cool if you like Nirvana, and a couple other things. It was okay. What else did we do? We went to the sculpture park, which was...
we didn't really like the sculpture park
No.
because there was no shade.
We were hot.
We were very hot, and the sculptures weren't very
sparse.
many of them, and they weren't that good.
No, there was a creepy fountain with like a little boy reaching up to his father who was entirely covered in water, and
You couldn't, yeah, it was just weird.
we didn't understand.
But Seattle, we really liked it. We also went to the fish market.
Yes!
There were so many pretty flowers there. It was
Gorgeous.
amazing.
We really wanted to buy some and just have them on our road trip, but that's just weird.
Yeah.
But I got a really good peach and it was wonderful.
Overall,
Highly
we
enjoyed.
really liked Seattle.
We did.
Day 2 on our road trip was also really awesome.
Yes.
We left Seattle and we took the car ferry to Bainbridge Island. Is that
Which
what
was
it's called?
so pretty.
It was really nice.
We played Titanic.
We did on the car ferry. It was so much fun. Then we went to see a waterfall in Olympic National Park, which was so pretty.
It was gorgeous. It had a rainbow with it.
Oh my gosh, it was so awesome.
Beautiful.
Then we drove to Forks, Washington, which is where the Twilight series all happens, which is really funny. In that town, there was so many Twilight things. It was ridiculous.
Our hotel room was Twilight themed.
We laughed a lot in that town
did.
because it was just hilarious.
Yeah.
We drove down to La Push Beach for dinner.
Yes,
which
first
was
beach.
So pretty.
First of all, dinner was delicious. Second of all, the scenery was amazing. Taco.
After dinner, we went to
Second beach,
where we had to trek down this huge trail, and then we had to climb over all these huge logs just to get to the beach. But it was so worth it because it was so pretty, and the sand was just amazing.
Beautiful. Highly enjoyed that night.
Very good day. Day 3 of our road trip was crazy.
Insane.
We left Forks, Washington, and we went to the rainforest.
The Hoh Rainforest and the Trail of the Hall of Mosses, which was super mossy.
It was so awesome.
Like life is everywhere, and it's just so cool to like watch the circle of life. And I kept saying Lion King, and they did not appreciate it.
Yes.
And then after that rainforest, we drove down to a beach called Ruby Beach, where Katie had a lovely time. She was frolicking around.
I had so much fun on the beaches. I was like frolicking in the sand and in the water. They were like way up on the beach. I couldn't even see them.
Listen, I was still climbing over driftwood logs. I was all like...
One minute I had my phone taking pictures, the next minute my phone was not with me. I had no clue what happened. It was somewhere in the beach, in the water. I tried to scream to Shannon and Melissa, hey, I just lost my phone. I don't know what happened. And they're like,
this is so cool. Or the water's not even cold.
They thought that I was saying that the water wasn't cold, so they weren't helping me at all.
No.
So I had to ask like a bajillion strangers on the beach, hey, I just lost my phone. Can you help me find it? Finally, this random guy found it for me, which was like 5 or 10 minutes later of it being in water, which was very sad.
But don't worry, we got her a bag of rice immediately.
We did.
We stopped at the shadiest little corner market, and they had rice. Awesome.
Awesome. And we also picked up s'more stuff because...
Our hotel had a fire pit that you can use. They had free firewood. We made s'mores. It was awesome.
We stayed at a hotel that was right off of Quinault's Lake, right?
Yep. Lake
and
Quinault.
we drove around Lake Quinault that night.
Yes.
It was so
And
pretty.
the best part of all of this is our hotel owner, he made
Has
a
his own CD.
He gave it to us as part of our room.
Yeah, so
And-
the entire time we drove around Lake Quinault, which is like 33 miles,
Yeah.
we listened to this 5-song CD like 7 times.
But we really liked it, actually.
It's actually pretty good. The Rusty West Project, you should all check it out.
Holler. So after we drove around this lake, we went to the Quinault Rainforest, which was also really, really pretty. It was a lot less crowded than Hall of Mosses, so we liked that. And it seemed a little bit more lush because we went in August, so it's kind of like drought season.
Yeah.
But it was really pretty.
So yeah, then that night we went back to our hotel. We made our own little mini fire.
Shout out to Shannon, Fire Master.
Yeah, she
Holla.
is. And we made s'mores and went to bed.
Yes.
Good day. Day 4 of our road trip, we left Lake Quinault and we drove to Mount St. Helens.
Which was amazing.
Oh my gosh, it was so cool. We stopped at the first visitor center, like pretty far away from the actual mountain, and we ate lunch there. Funny story about eating lunch there is that one of the guys that came in to eat lunch, we recognized him from Lake Quinault. He had been there eating at the same time that we were eating the day before.
Yes, and I joked because he was alone and I was like, oh, we should invite him to eat with us. So why, when we're sitting there at this restaurant, does he come over to our table and he's like, I saw you yesterday?
And he's from Austria.
Yes. And I really wanted to ask him more questions, but other people thought that was creepy, and it is creepy.
It was just bizarre that we saw him at 2 restaurants, 2 days in a row, at 2 places that are really far apart.
Yeah, and we were eating at weird times too, like 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
so
which
it makes
was
no
weird.
sense.
So it was cool making that connection with some random guy from Austria.
Yeah.
The whole rest of the trip we were making jokes about how some Austria guy was stalking us and tracking our car, and it was a little frightening, but it was okay.
Yes, it was very fun.
So then we actually took the drive up to Mount St. Helens, closer to the actual mountain, and it was so beautiful.
So pretty. We had gone to one viewpoint, Lumit or something. It's like half a mile from the very top viewpoint, but the very top viewpoint you have to pay $8 to go to.
Yeah.
Per person. So we're cheap, and clearly we go to $5 movies. We just enjoyed our viewpoint and had a good time.
We
there.
went really close to what that actual top one that
half
you
a
have to
mile.
pay for. So there was no point in us paying $8 by that point.
No,
not really.
it's dumb. So then we drove to Portland. And
lots of driving. How many hours was that? That was a lot.
a
A
long
lot
time.
of driving that day. It was pretty sad.
But we have some amazing car games.
We do.
One we call, well, it's originally called Horse, but we made it Cow. And it's pretty much you just point out any barnyard animal you see and guesstimate how many there are, which sounds really dumb, but when you're in the car for 4 hours,
It becomes really fun.
It does. And what you do, this is why it's a competition, is anytime you see a cemetery, you yell cemetery and you kill everyone else's animals.
Yep.
So you're the only one left. Katie is very good at this game. She still has llamas and chickens and geese and cows and horses.
Yeah, they have none because I found a cemetery
Like
a couple hours
2 hours
ago.
ago. It was upsetting. I had a whole
So
bunch
we
of
have that
horses.
card game. We also spot the slug bugs.
Yeah, Shannon's really good at that
Shannon
game.
is the master at that game.
She's like cross-stitching, not paying any attention. Slug bug! You're not even looking at the road! How does this happen?
I don't know.
The license plate game was quite successful. So
We
far, we've
did.
got like 44 license plates.
Yeah, 44
Plus,
out of
like,
56.
we've got, I think, 5 or 6 Canadian provinces, which is
Yes.
really good considering there's not that many
We
Canadian
also
provinces.
found
four
four
Hawaii's.
Hawaii license plates.
4. Who does that?
That's just insane.
Yeah.
Crazy. So that was it for day 4 and our crazy car games.
So day 5, we were in Portland, and we went to Powell City Books.
Huge bookstore.
I was overwhelmed. There were so many books. I didn't even know where to like look or begin. I was just like, books are everywhere.
There's room after room, and all the rooms are labeled in colors, and each color has a different
section. Like
section.
There's sci-fi. There's a romance room. There's a photography room. There's all these different rooms.
Every kind of book you can possibly imagine is in that store. It's just crazy.
It's true. It was awesome. Then after Powell City Books, we drove out to the Columbia River Gorge, and we did a couple stops along there, which is really, really pretty. We went to a couple waterfalls. We went to Luratel Falls, which is like this just plunge waterfall, and it just like
I think
sprays
we saw
on
like
you.
5 or 6 different waterfalls that morning.
Yeah, they were really pretty.
Then we drove down some
We
more.
went to a winery.
a wine tasting thing.
My sister insisted I bring her back wine because we were going to all this wine country. We don't, and so we picked her up a bottle, went to a wine tasting. It was very fun.
It was very fun.
And then we drove soberly. And we went to a city called Bend that has Smith Rock State Park,
Yes.
which is more of a rock climbing park, and online it said there's hikes, but there's not really, but whatever, that's fine.
It was cool because this whole time we had been seeing waterfalls and rainforests and forests, and then this park
It
was
was like
more
super deserty.
yeah,
cool.
very deserty looking, and it was cool to take pictures there.
Yeah. And then we just kind of drove and ended our night at our hotel by Crater Lake.
Yeah. Lots of
It's
driving
nice.
that day too,
Yeah.
but it was good. Day 6 of our journey was a very intense day.
We woke up early and we drove up to Crater Lake because it's like an hour from any hotel, essentially. So we get to the top of Crater Lake and we went to Cleetwood Cove, which is a trail down to Crater Lake. Because most of the time you're above Crater Lake and looking down, and it's really pretty, but to actually get to the lake and do a boat tour, swim, or whatever you want to do at Crater Lake, you have to go down this trail. And as we started descending this trail, someone stops us. He's like, "Hey, can I ask you guys for a favor?" And we're like, "Yes."
Yeah.
And what the guy was doing, he was taking new pictures for the little like interpretive guides, the little placards you read at the top of the trails. And guess who's new models?
He needed hikers for his pictures, and we are those hikers.
We are us and Shannon.
And Shannon.
Uh-huh.
And guess how many times they change those pictures?
Once every like 20 years.
He said 30.
30, yeah.
So pretty much, if you ever go to Crater Lake, within the next 30 years, you might potentially see our pictures
Yes.
in their and there are trails, which is cool.
It's very exciting.
So Crater Lake was really awesome. We hiked down into the actual kind of crater.
Caldera, technical term.
Yes. And
we took this boat tour around, and it's so beautiful. Like, the water's just blue. Like, and it was perfectly clear that day, so it just, the sun radiated and just made it amazing.
Yeah. Deepest lake in the United States. It was just the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. It's like 1,193 feet deep, I think he said. And it was beautiful.
We had Ranger Andrew that was teaching us all about the mountain that collapsed and made Crater Lake.
One of my favorite parts of the trip, though, was not, sorry, we'll get to that, but he came up to Shannon and was like, "Your shirt is the color of a lichen here in the lake." And she's like, "Thank you." Which was really funny.
He was a very cool ranger. We really liked him. He was very knowledgeable.
He was. He knew a lot. Katie, though, she got chosen to be a volunteer because we clearly are really cool like that.
We are. I was his assistant, so I got to hold up a thing. I don't even know what it's called.
It measures clarity. It was like a suture or something. I don't know.
So he made me stand up in front of the entire boat and wave around this thing, and I got to be Vanna White for a while. But he passed out all of his ranger skills to me.
Yes.
Which we'll talk about on the next few days.
Yeah.
But that boat tour was really awesome. Great day. Then, after we had the 2-hour boat tour, we had to hike all the way back up the entire huge trail.
Which was all downhill. So now it's all uphill.
Yes.
And you gain 700 feet in elevation, 65 stories equivalent.
Yeah. It was rough. It was pretty grueling. But we did it.
We did. And we made decent time.
We did. We did it in like
happy.
50 minutes.
Yeah.
It was good.
And we took lots of pictures, and it was pretty. And
yeah, it was awesome.
Highly enjoyed that. So then we just drove down the mountain. Like, we stopped, of course, a couple more stops. And pretty. And then, we went to eat. We went and ended up in Crescent City.
Yes.
For dinner.
That drive from Crater Lake to Crescent City is all curvy. Towards the end, especially. I usually don't get car sick, but I got so car sick that day. It was not fun.
No.
So we basically got to our hotel in Crescent City.
And she just laid there.
I had to like stop moving, and I just laid down. And they went and got groceries, and we ate dinner in our hotel room.
We brought her back ice cream. She was much happier.
We had ice cream, and it was a good night.
It was.
Day 7 of our journey was a lot of redwoods.
Yes!
Yes.
Which are so cool. Our first one was called Lady Bird Johnson Grove, which is this one that's almost pretty much right on the highway by the ocean. And it's gorgeous. We got there pretty early in the morning.
It was so cool because the whole trail was really foggy because we got there early. And it was redwood forest with fog, and it was so creepy and spooky, but it was so cool.
It was gorgeous.
Lots of cool pictures from that day.
So then we drove down to a town called Eureka, which is super cute.
We ate lunch there, and there are so many cute shops in Eureka. There were, like, it was awesome.
Yeah. And there's all these really cool, like, Victorian old buildings in there, so architecture is gorgeous, too, and they've all, like, maintained it and kept it brightly painted, and it was really pretty.
We had a good time walking around there.
We did, and then we were supposed to be at this one trail at really pretty light time.
We got lost.
I got lost.
She got lost.
I was the driver for this trip. And it's this tiny, tiny little sign, it's about that big, saying where the trail I wanted to go to was. And I'm driving, and about, half hour, 45 minutes later, we're clearly lost. We've tried a couple different loops. Finally, some lady's like, "I've seen you guys pass like twice. Where are you trying to go?" And we're like,
oh. So she helped us find the right trail, the one that we wanted to go to. And those redwoods were also just as amazing.
Yeah. I miss Prime Light, though.
Yeah.
Here. So you don't care. But it was very pretty, and we highly enjoyed that.
Yep. And then more driving after that, redwoods, too.
I did not feel well, though. So Shannon took over the driving, which was fine. And we drove to our hotel in San Rafael.
Day 8 of our journey consisted of us driving from San Rafael to San Francisco.
Very short drive, but then after San Francisco we went to San Jose.
Yeah.
Which contains the Winchester Mystery House.
Ooh, it's this huge, huge mansion.
It's built by this lady named Sarah Winchester, who was told by a psychic, because she inherited the Winchester rifle fortune, that the reason that her husband and child died is that because the ghosts of
all the
victims
people that were killed by the rifle
were haunting her, and she had to build them a house, but the building could never stop.
Yeah, she
And-
had to keep building on this house forever. And she did.
She did, literally until the day she died.
It is a crazy, crazy house.
She would have seances to get her building plans.
They would tell her exactly what they wanted her to do, and she
Like
followed
staircases that went to nowhere, doors that opened to walls, and
it. Windows that open to walls, cabinets
Windows that
that
are-
are a quarter of an inch thick.
windows that are in the floor, cabinets that open to the other wing of the house.
Yeah, it's just weird,
It
but
is.
it was so cool. We took a tour
Yeah, that
all
was
the way
fun.
around the house, and we took a behind the scenes tour, which was really also awesome.
It's a total tourist trap,
Yes.
but it's fun and
We
it's
had
cheesy.
fun. We got to wear hard hats.
Yes,
Because
bump
we went down
helmets.
into the basement.
Mhm,
It was spooky but cool.
But the really sad thing is, because I've been there before, like 4 or 5 years ago, and you could take pictures inside, but now you
They
can't
don't
take
let
pictures
you take
inside.
Pictures.
We're thinking it's something to do with the internet and people not
I
wanting to
don't
go
know.
and something
Who knows?
stupid. But we're sad.
So we took pictures
We
outside,
did.
which was cool.
Yeah, and then after that we went to San Francisco, found our hotel. I tried to kill a couple people. It was fine. But so then for dinner we found the Cheesecake Factory
The Cheesecake Factory.
because there is not one within like 6 hours of us at home.
No, but
So-
it was so good. I've never been to a Cheesecake Factory.
I've been once, and it was this one.
It
4
was
years ago.
delicious. And we all got
Dessert.
yummy desserts.
Yum.
We all pretty much wanted to die afterwards. But it was awesome.
It was. And that was our whole day. We spent like 3 hours at Cheesecake Factory. It was kind of pathetic, but delicious and amazing. Way to spend the vacation. Day 9.
Which is today.
Hey.
Whoa, hey, day 9.
We woke up really early.
Really, really early in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And we took a boat to Alcatraz.
Yes.
It was so awesome. They have a audio tour.
It's a really great audio tour.
It really is. They take you through the whole building of Alcatraz.
And you get to hear guards talk and prisoners talk and children of the guards because they lived on the island. Weird. And that was really cool. And they've got all the sound effects and like you can really feel like you're there. Even though there's
Yeah.
like a bajillion people around you, you kind of get like lost in it. Which was really,
It was
really cool.
really cool.
And we took goofy pictures around Alcatraz.
We did. We took pictures in the cells like we were inmates, and it was cool.
Locking
We're
each
so
other in.
dorky.
We are, it's true.
But then after Alcatraz, we went to Fisherman's Wharf, where we ate.
Lunch, yes. And that was really nice. But then we decided, oh, we're going to go find Ghirardelli Square, which I told them I had been to before. That was a lie.
No.
I couldn't find it last time, but we found it, and it was super great. And then we were going to try to find the bridge.
Shannon found
Shannon found
square.
the square.
She's our navigator.
She is.
If we didn't have Shannon, we would die.
We would,
be
it's
so
true.
lost.
We're both kind of like flaky. We're like, oh, look at that, that's pretty.
We just kind of walk and don't worry about directions, and that would be not good on a vacation like this.
No.
So Shannon has really helped us a lot.
She has. And we got, we took public transit to the bridge.
That was
but
also a fun experience.
us finding the bus was kind of complicated because we thought we knew where it was and then it didn't end up being there.
Well,
and then
we walked a really long way to get to that bus stop, and
We
then
did.
finally we get to the bus stop, and we're like, okay, we need money to get on this bus.
they're like, oh, how much is it? And I was like, well, 4 years ago it was like $1.50. And they're like,
So we all pull out our pockets. Of course, at Ghirardelli Square, we all bought ice cream and used up every single dollar bill that we had,
Yes.
pretty much.
so Shannon had to run to like the corner store and buy a water and like,
Because we had
she
no change.
So now we could take the bus to the bridge, and we walked like halfway across the bridge, and it was really pretty, but we had to come back because we had to go on a sunset tour of the bridge, of the whole Golden Gate,
yeah.
which was
The
amazing.
whole San Francisco Bay. Our sunset boat tour took us, it was a catamaran
Catamaran.
that took us all the way around Alcatraz. We keep calling it Azkaban all week, so
no.
I get confused.
Yes.
So we went all the way around Alcatraz, and then we went under the Golden Gate Bridge, and then back through, and then back to the San Francisco Bay.
And on this Adventure Cat is what the boat was called. They had like jackets for us, and we got wine with our sunset cruise.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres. It was, and hot cocoa.
Yes.
Highly necessary after standing out in the wind.
It was so beautiful. The sunset over those hills and the Golden Gate Bridge was just
phenomenal.
amazing.
Yeah.
We also had a very fun time with all the other people that were on the boat.
Yes.
There were some French people on the boat that were hilarious
They were
to watch.
crazy. First of all, they're like over dramatic. Like the lady's like, oh, incroyable, click, click, like.
They were just so
Yeah,
funny.
and like the teenage girls were super over dramatic, and they're talking about how like, oh, I've broken my leg. We need to go to the hospital. I'm going to die, and like.
Melissa was the only one that could understand them, but
Yeah.
we were just having a good time trying to figure out what they were saying.
Yes, it was pretty much hysterical.
So yeah, after the boat tour, we came back to our hotel,
Yes.
and here we are
Hi.
doing our meter of epicality for you guys.
Yes, and as you can see, my suitcase is polka dotted, so we are not leaving our polka dots
We're
behind.
trying to keep the theme of the polka dots, and we hope that you enjoy our review of our marvelous West Coast tour trip.
Yay!
So overall, we really liked this West Coast tour trip.
We did. There was a little bit too much driving for us.
Yes, there was
However-
a lot of driving, but we saw so many cool things.
Yeah, we went from Seattle to San Francisco in like 10 days.
Ah.
And crazy, we've been to like 3 or 4 national parks and like all kinds of crazy stuff. And so it's pretty much been amazing.
Yes. So now, for our overall rating, we're gonna have to turn to our
Meter of Epicality! We would just like quickly to have a
yes.
shout out.
to our videographer on this trip for all of
Yes.
our Meter of Epicality videos. We'd like to say thank you to my dear sister Shannon.
Hi, Shannon. Hi, Shannon.